Hello there, welcome to the channel. So what I want to do here is go over the Car Mechanic Simulator 2026 demo. So let's have a look at that. Now, if you don't know anything about me or my channel, basically I just like to, play games, and I really like to do Car Mechanic Simulator, and I'm thinking of starting a new, kind of like rebooting my Car Mechanic Simulator video series, which I didn't barely even started, but I'm gonna try to reboot it from the beginning. Now, with that said, let's get into the new game, or the demo of a new game, and see what I think of it. Now, I did play around with it a little bit earlier, but not on camera. So I know you can drive the vehicles around the block. I don't know much else, because that's all I did, was drive that little truck around the block. So, let's click on play demo. I do have a, profile on here already, but what I'm going to do, I'm going to make a new one. Make a new profile, hit enter. Now, I guess in the full version, you'll have a bunch of options to customize your settings. As you can see here, let's see, we got skills, unlockable, delivery time, standard and instant, automatic package pickup, inventory space, parts availability, cars available everywhere, all these different settings, highlights, customer orders, orders difficulty, time skipping, fees, unlimited fuel. That's interesting. So there will be a fuel limit, like a actual limit to how much fuel you can have if you have that disabled. Unlimited barn locations, so they're still going to be in a different map, I would assume. A lot of what's going to be in this game, I think, is going to be in the same map. There's also the heads-up display. There's going to be a few difficulties: easy, demo. We're in demo right now. Expert, sandbox, and custom. So yeah, let's start the demo. And like I said, I played around with it a little bit earlier just to drive the rusty gray pickup truck that's on the outside the garage, just to goof off, But I didn't really play enough to really get too familiar with the new game. I've played the old games a lot. Especially the 2021 game, I think it is. And I played quite a bit of the previous game before that. And like I said, I really want to start a new series on this game series on my YouTube channel. So we'll see. Now, I could do the tutorial, and I probably should, but I don't want to, because I already kind of sort of know how to play this game due to playing the two previous games. Actually, I played the 3 previous games, because there was like 3 games before this. I've played all of them, I think. Yeah, because I played the last 3. I don't know if there were any before that, but I played pretty much every game in this series. Yeah, I'm going to skip the tutorial for now, just because I already have the basics of how to play this game down. Now, they got garage layout options. I guess right now you can only take modern. And just like previous games, you can open all the parts on the car, the hood, the doors. I think, you can open the trunk. I always wondered, and I think why the trunks on the cars and trucks in Car Mechanic Simulator games, they never go all the way down like they do on real trucks. I never understood that. They just kind of open about that far, which is not all the way down. I don't know why they make it that way. I wish they would fix that. It's not a big deal. It's not like it breaks anything to me, but yeah, it would be nice. So yeah, let's open this up. We'll take a look in here. You sit in the passenger seat just like you could in the last game. The controls are slightly different. Like in the previous game, when you wanted to get into a vehicle at your garage, you would do it just like this, where you would click on the vehicle, but you would open a radio menu to get in and out, which I guess you can still do. Yeah, you can still open the radio menu with the right analog stick, so that's good. I'm going to get in the driver's seat. And like I said, one of the new features of this game that I'm really excited about personally is the ability to drive cars around an open world, basically. So you have... There should be a way to change the camera. It has the C button to go into third person. And there's a few camera options. Yeah, there's a few camera options. I don't know if they're all the same camera options from previous games. Oh, you can look out the window like that. That's cool. But as you can see, yeah, you can just kind of drive around the block. Now, I will say my camera positioning is kind of bad, so I will admit that. It may or may not be picking up audio from the TV. I hope not. It should just pick up audio in front of me, but I don't know if it's going to drown that out. But anyway. Okay, I can drift around this corner. Like I said, you got the whole block to drive around. And you can do it right from your garage instead of having to load to a different map, which I think is nice. And here you can do your little test track around the sides of the garage. I don't really know if, like, I think, no wait, I don't know if I really like that the test track is just the block around the garage, right? I don't know for sure if I like that. Because I have driven this test track once in this game, and yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we can start the test. My issue with the test track just being the block around the garage, I don't mind it. I have a slight issue, and that is that it doesn't really have a bumpy road section like test tracks in previous games in this series had. So I wonder if they're going to add something like that. And it doesn't really have like the slalom section either. We gotta go between the cones. So I do wonder if they'll add that, or if they're going to move the test track in the full game to, yeah, I don't know if they're going to move it to, maybe the harbor over here, because it looks like there's areas you can unlock. Like right now these areas are, off limits in the demo. But somewhere here I saw last time I was checking this out. Here it is. Get out of the car. I think it's the escape button. No? I gotta be in first person, I think. Yeah, it's F to exit the car once you get it moving. Yeah. So it's F to automatically get in and out of the car. Yeah, like that. Okay, I get that now. I forgot. So, up there they got a sign that says paint shop, test track, gas station, car wash, and dyno. And I wonder if they're going to move this test track maybe to the harbor over there, which is an area that's locked, or maybe that's where the dyno is? Or maybe the dyno is in a different building. I really don't know. The paint shop is down that way, somewhere. But as you can see, we can't go that way. And I wonder if they'll let me drive this with, like, with the trunk and stuff down. That would be interesting. Oh, no, it forces the trunk back up. That kind of sucks. I was hoping I could still drive it with the trunk down. But you can't. But what I can do is I can take the trunk off. And I can take the doors off. And I can take the front right door off. I already said doors, but whatever. I can take the hood off. And all the other parts that aren't mechanically required for a car to run. Just, you know. I can take all the body panels off the truck. And it should still let me drive it because, like, All the mechanical bits are still there, right? All the important stuff. Well, I can probably even take the seat off. Hold on. How do I switch to inventory? Inventory. Not inventory, but interior. Interior disassemble. Let's take this chair. There we go. Out of curiosity, I don't think it'll let me fit in the car if I remove this seat. So I'm not gonna remove that seat because pretty sure that won't work. It would be funny if it glitched and did work. Yep, see? It doesn't require the car to have like all its parts on to be able to drive it. You just have to have, you know, the mechanical bits, the electronics, and obviously wheels. So if you wanted to, you could just like strip a car down to nearly nothing and just keep all the essential components. You know, basically just remove all the aesthetic components, right? Yeah, the aesthetic components. I think I said that right. And just like other car mechanics, I can just reassemble the car. And of course you can repair the car too. Stuff like that. Now I don't know, but I'm going to try something. I'm going to go back to normal. I'm going to take this off. I just want to look at the engine a bit. Alright, let's, how do I get out of this menu? There we go. Now, aside from driving around like an idiot, and just, doing whatever I want to do, there is a point to this game. Also, it does let you drive on the sidewalk, which I think is kind of cool. I don't know if they're gonna, I doubt there's gonna be like, civilian or police pedestrians or whatever walking around. And I don't think, I would hope maybe someday they could implement, civilian traffic and maybe police traffic to chase you if you break laws, but that's more Grand Theft Auto-like, right? I don't want it to be that in depth. But it would be an interesting thing if they could pull that off. Like I said, the important thing about this game, the main function of this game really is that you have a garage and you build and repair cars, just like all the other car mechanics. So the gameplay loop is still the same, with the exception of some added stuff like, you know, being able to drive the truck around. And the other vehicle, I think any vehicle you get that is at least semi-functional can kind of be driven around, right? Well, if all the mechanical and electronics are good, you can drive it. But anyway, we gotta actually check out the actual garage. Now this is where the controls get me a little bit. They're changed a little bit, so we do got a flashlight now, which is nice. You can open the gates individually or all at once if you want. So that's nice. Now if we go in the garage, there's supposed to be like garage customization this time. So if we go into, we're not gonna do an order yet. That's inventory. Actually, no. There's a tablet to buy parts and stuff. Options. Garage editor, that's what we're looking for. Move garage equipment, no. Add garage equipment, we have none of that. So, no, we don't have any to add. But if I wanted to, I could take this and move it to any location that it's compatible with, right? So this one, these ones here, they're compatible, obviously, with the garage bays. But from what I've seen online, if you get other items, like smaller items, you can move them anywhere you want, I think. Like this thing. I think this is a generator or something. See, I can... That's something you couldn't do in the previous games, was just put stuff wherever you wanted it. Like, you can just grab objects around your garage and put them more or less anywhere you want. Oh. Okay, I didn't even know that was I wonder if you can customize stuff on the... Yes, you can. You can move stuff around on the wall. Sort of. The wall moving stuff doesn't necessarily work as well. But it can be done. So I can just be stupid and put stuff wherever I want. This is power the developers should not have given me. That's all I'm going to say about that. What's this? Yeah, let's put this up there. Can I spin things? Snap the grid. Shift. Rotate. Oh, okay. I see. You use the middle mouse button to rotate objects. That's cool. Yes, I'm going to have a absolutely stupid amount of fun just moving stuff around the garage, because I actually kind of think that's fun. I want to move stuff. And the worst part, I'm probably not going to put it anywhere that makes sense. My garage, if I do a series on this game, like I have done with previous games in the series, but if I do a series on this game, it's probably going to consist mostly of working on cars like this game is about, but also of moving random junk to random places and having the ugliest, most messy garage the world has ever seen, second only to my real life workshop garage thing at the new house cabin, because we recently moved. But anyway, so I'm gonna make this. I'm gonna make it feel like home, if you know what I mean. It's gonna be a mess, and it's gonna feel like home, and it's gonna be nice. Ooh, I can put this on top of boxes? Yes! I like that. That makes me needlessly happy, putting the computer there. Yes. Yes, that is nice. I like that. Is there anything else that I can put in really stupid places where it does not belong? Oh, I can turn the light on and off? You know, that's actually oddly addicting, just turning this light on and off. I could spend way too much time on the garage editor. Like, just moving stuff to stupid places. And honestly, I need to not do that right now, because I'm trying to... I'm trying to, like, show what this game is about, because... aside from being stupid and moving stuff around in the dumb places, it actually is a pretty fun game outside of the stupid stuff that you can do. Well, it's not really stupid. Like, most people are probably going to want to decorate their garage to be nice and pretty or whatever, or look like something they want it to look like. Like people are going to want to make it look nice. Unless you're me, and you want to make it look like an absolute mess, because that's what you're used to. Because that's kind of how I live. Well, yeah, huh. Okay, so, I saw someone else playing this, right? And apparently, if I go to normal mode, you can sleep in the bed to pass time. And, ooh, how much time can I pass? 12 hours, 10 hours, 9 hours, 6 hours. Let's do 6 hours. And I guess time is just supposed to pass. Just like that. I don't know if the day-night cycle actually passes when you're, like, awake. I don't know if you have to sleep to pass time. I want to see what the game looks like at night. Yeah, I want to see that. It does look pretty neat. I think the graphics have been slightly improved over the previous game. I mean, I think the previous game and the game before it, I think most of these, the mainline, like, car mechanic games actually have all these pretty much had decent looking graphics. I mean, they're not like a really old game series, and graphics aren't everything to me. They're hardly anything to me. Like, I don't care about graphics much, or at all. But I will admit, they look nice. And I think they looked pretty good in the previous game as well. So, I guess what I'm going to do is stop stalling, stop goofing off like an idiot, and actually take an order. Luke's our Streamliner Mark III. That's our first order. We'll take it. Now, there are story elements to the orders that you can read when you take an order. I don't know if I want to spoil that. It's nothing as fancy as cutscenes or anything, but they're there. I usually don't really care too much about the story elements, so I don't usually, I can open this door, that's cool. But I don't usually, like, read the story elements, unless they're necessary to, like, to know what you need to do. Oh, I kind This is part of my garage, isn't it? You know what it is. Why is the soda machine here? The soda machine has to be in the garage because I want it in there. I don't know where to put it. Oh, is that the dyno? Is it? Huh. You know what? It won't let me put things outside of the garage. But it will let me put things in the garage. Soda machine. That's good. And also, yeah, this diagnostic path. Okay, let's, how do I open this? I thought I heard a cat. I think you have to be on the inside to open that. And like I said, we gotta take this order and... Actually, no, you know what? I know what's going on. I know why I can't open that. Because I was in the menu. A flashlight at night. Open. So this is... Yeah, this is the 4th game. Yeah, I know. I'm not intentionally stalling. It's just I'm getting caught up in stupid functions that are not necessary to play the game. Like they are, but they aren't. I don't know. I love it. It's, one thing I will say about this game's graphics, though, that bugs me a little bit. Even though I'm not really... Again, I'm not a graphics guy, so to speak. But I'll just show you what I mean here. So, the, parked vehicles that aren't part of the career, right? Like, vehicles that aren't customer orders or aren't, you know, just ambient vehicles, right? I don't know, they don't look terrible. But they obviously don't look as nice as the actual, like, vehicles in the game, right? I'm not going to complain too much about it, because it doesn't really, I don't know, it's just odd. But I guess that's kind of like how Need for Speed handles it, where traffic vehicles or parked vehicles or ambient vehicles are slightly less detailed than, you know, the vehicles you get. Like the stuff you can actually drive, right? I don't know, it just, I'm not trying to nitpick, it's just weird. It just looks odd when you park one of these next to there. Also, you do have the option of just moving the car the way you normally would, like garage parking, car lift. From what I've seen, you can, I think, drive straight onto the, oh, what do you call it? The car lifter, right? So we're gonna try it. I don't know how well it works. Can I turn the lights on off in the actual car? Vehicle systems 2. Toggle, okay, no. Speed, I don't know if, I don't know, maybe they turn on automatically when it's nighttime. I think they do. I think you can drive right onto this, yes you can. So you can move it, like in the previous games, where it would just, like, teleport, sort of. You can also park it. I'm not sure how well it works, because I can't stop the car right with the brakes. Okay, so... It does work. Barely. I guess open the car doors while it's here. And it does actually kind of stop the car door, I think, when it hits that. So that's interesting. I don't know what it is about this, like, mechanical sound, but it's just like something you kind of get addicted to, this sound of the lifter moving the more you play this game. Or any game in this series, really. Let's check the order, car status, engine parts, issues to fix. Brake pads, change oil, leather desk. So I'm just going to show you the basic components of how car mechanic games work if you haven't seen them before. I kind of want to save actually completing the orders for when I maybe start a series on this. But I don't know if I'm going to do like a sandbox series or actual career series. I might do both. I want to do sandbox with the previous game just because I like to dig through the junkyard, find cars, and then, fix them up and drive them around and keep them in my parking lot and then take them out when I want to race them, right? The previous game has a drag racing DLC, which I really like, where you can actually race against other cars on the drag strip. I'm assuming this will eventually get something like that. I hope. Now you can see that the screws, they come out slowly at first because there's going to be upgrades where you can upgrade your tools, like your drills, not drill, you don't use drills in this game, your screwdrivers and stuff, or whatever other tools you're going to use, so that everything goes faster. Like, for example, in the previous game, once you get fully upgraded, or if you're playing in sandbox mode, like the screws and bolts and stuff will come out almost instantly. And this one is slightly more in depth, I think, with the car parts. Not a whole lot more, but a little bit, right? And one of the things I like to do with car mechanic games, I don't do it every single time I play, but sometimes I just like to completely take an entire car apart and put it back together like a puzzle. Because, I don't know, it is kind of like a puzzle game to me, the way I play them. Like, especially in sandbox mode where, like, you have infinite money, so you can, like, do whatever. And one of the things I like to do is just take the whole car apart. And, yeah, like I said, put it together like a puzzle. And I really think that the car mechanic games are pretty relaxing to play. I do like them. And because by nature of being a video game, it is easier than working on a real car by a long shot. I'm not a mechanic in real life for a reason. Although I very well may have to help my dad with putting new brakes on the truck soon. Um, he ordered new brakes and brake calipers, brake pads and brake calipers. Anyway, yeah, that's a whole other story. But me and my dad have worked on, our family vehicles, his truck, my mom's car, a few times here and there. But just to repair stuff, we've never, like, at least I've never had like a project car or something. I'm sure that's something my dad would love to have someday, is a car that me and him he could teach me more about working on old cars. I'm sure he would love that. But, of course, again, that is money that we don't have to get that type of thing to work on, right? So, it is what it is, Like I said, there was absolutely no reason for me to take that entire section of that car off. I just wanted to. Like, I literally only took that off because I wanted to. And, I don't know. Like, that was entirely pointless, that whole segment there, but whatever. The brake servo. That looks dirty. That looks really dirty. What is the car job again? Refuel windshield washer fluid, change brake fluid, change oil, start oil filter? Oh, the brake servo. That's interesting. Yeah, you can learn a lot about, not necessarily about building real cars in this. Oh, why am I doing that? I need to drain this first. Additional tools. I always forget that drain tool. But you can learn a lot about, like, just car parts in this game, which I think is neat. Obviously, it's not one-to-one realistic, right? That's not a thing with video games yet. Maybe in the future. And who knows? Maybe it will be in the future a bit more. I don't want to say they should make it completely one-to-one realistic, because that might take some of the fun out of it. But at its core, you can get a little bit of knowledge about, like, oh, this car part kind of goes here, or it goes here, or, overfilling it. Also, that's another thing this game teaches you, is that you can overfill these things. Which, I mean, you can overfill anything that you pour liquid into. But I think you get the idea. The car battery. So that's car status again. I unfortunately have to check car status a lot because my memory is messed up and it doesn't always work correctly. So I'm constantly checking the car status to make sure I'm doing this right. But yeah, I don't think I'm gonna complete more than like maybe this one job in the demo because I want to save the others for when the full game comes out. Or maybe I'll check out the others later. But I'm going to complete a few tasks here. But yeah, this is just refueling the different things. I don't think I have to fill that all the way. I think you only have to fill it so far, yeah. Change oil. So let's see. Yeah, they do have a little bit of story elements here. Again, no cutscenes or anything yet, really. I don't think that's necessary for this game, and honestly, I don't think I would want that, but... So we do... Actually, taking that one part apart may have actually been a thing that we need to do, because, there's parts that need replaced and or repaired. So, like, in the other game, and I don't think you can do it in the demo yet, but in the previous games, you could unlock, a way to repair, most parts in the game, right? That doesn't seem to be available in the demo. But like I said, there's a tire changer, a wheel balancer, so we have them out straight out the gate, which is nice. I think you usually have them at the start of most car mechanic games. Maybe all of them. Spring puller. There's no reason for me to be doing this, but I'm doing it anyway. Because, I mean, there is for certain projects, I don't know. I wanted to separate parts, and now I'm going to put them back together. I don't know, this game is just... It's weird, because working on a real car in real life, and believe me, I've seen this, because, when you help your dad or a relative work on a car, it doesn't always go that well. I mean, think about it. Working on a car isn't necessarily easy in real life, So I can appreciate, people having the ability to do this, especially people who do it, on their own at home, right? It's something that, I can help a person do a job like this, but I can't do a job like this in real life. If you haven't noticed, I'm not the most strongest or physically fit or capable person when it comes to extremely hard manual labor. I can do it, sort of. I can lift heavy objects. I'm good at that. Not the heaviest objects, but I can lift objects. I can do that. In the past, I think I had I had one job in the past where I was a janitor, and the garbage would get pretty heavy where I worked. Actually, I had two jobs when I was a janitor. But we'll get into that subject another time. But yeah, I can lift and carry stuff, so. But actually taking apart the car for real, that's a whole nother ball game. You know what I mean? I have seen my dad. I was with him when he was replacing the brakes on my mom's car once and stuff like that. Because one of the things you do when have a dad that knows how to fix some parts of a car, maybe even most of them, is if something goes wrong with your car or your mom's car. I don't have a car. I don't drive. I mean, I can drive. Well, I recently drove that ATV in the back of the garage. It's way over there. But I've never actually driven a real car. The closest I've gotten to that is a go-kart. I've been told I did all right with the go-kart, but I'm getting too much into my own stuff here. I just want to let you know, I like this game. I like the car mechanic games. And I don't know, all I can really say is, so far, I think, if you like cars or mechanical bits or customization, car customization mostly, you like building things, puzzles, stuff like that. See, to me, these games are always like a puzzle game. You just take the puzzle apart, and you build the puzzle again. It's like Lego. And I love Lego. you get the idea. I think I've rambled on enough. I have no idea how long I've been talking, but thank you for checking this out. And if you are interested, I'm probably going to start doing a series on in the sandbox mode of the previous game, possibly until this game comes out. I don't know. I'm hoping this game comes out sooner rather than later. But I understand they want to take their time with it and get it right, you know, which is something a lot of developers can't say they do. And the developers of Car Mechanic, yeah, I don't know, I think they're fairly trustworthy. Like, I think they care enough about the games they're making to do a decent job of, you know, taking their time, especially with this one. Because I think the part of the reason it released as a demo, you know. Anyway, thanks for checking this out. Bye for now. And if you feel up to it, maybe subscribe, comment, whatever. I'm not going to beg for that, but you get the idea. See you around another video, and I don't know how to end videos, so yeah, there's that.